Hi, Eric here. If you have been following the videos I've been producing comparing Microsoft Word and LibreOffice Writer, you already have seen that these two programs, they process different documents, different words, and different writing styles differently. They have their own advantages and disadvantages, and when you try to mix two writing styles such as Latin and a complex writing style similar to Persian or Arabic, then both of them, they show their weaknesses and they kind of choke on the task. And if you're curious, you can watch the previous 3 videos I have uploaded already that discusses how they behave, how they deal with complex text. Today I would like to move a little bit further and figure out how to do things in these two different programs. And again, you will see that Microsoft Word, although it's very capable and it does the job, but in order to achieve the effect you want to achieve, you have to really work hard and go through many menus. The way that the menus are designed, kind of a legacy from years ago, decades ago, they are, in my opinion, they are hindrance to the way that I work. At least I usually work with very long documents, most of the time 200-300 pages long, and if your document is anything more than a few pages, 10 pages perhaps, you are gonna have a lot of issues just dealing with those archaic menu system that is underneath the cosmetics of Microsoft Word. On the other hand, LibreOffice has a very logical and structured menu system, easy to access, easy to understand. In most parts, there are some corners that are a little bit very, I would say, pretty hard to understand what's going on, but those are kind of obscure corners of the program. But for the most part, it's very well structured and logically structured. That makes working with long text in LibreOffice much faster. When you have a very long text, let's say 300 pages, the type of thing that I deal with almost every day, every small hindrance or every small user interface issue would add up, because now you're not just doing something once or twice, you're doing something like hundreds of times. That is going to very quickly add up to serious annoyance. Anyway, so I was comparing the things that you see on the screen. These two texts are supposed to be identical. I grabbed them from the same source and copy paste them over here. In the previous 3 videos, I manipulated them to show the Latin text, the English text on top, as well as the Persian text at the bottom properly. The Persian language is typeset from right to left, as you know, similar to Arabic and Hebrew, and that requires a lot of attention from the perspective of coding of the word processor. I'm glad that LibreOffice is very capable, so far as I've seen, dealing with these. And there are a couple of things I noticed in the previous video that was a source of concern. I would say it was a bug. I've discovered 2 bugs. One bug was in Microsoft Word, where I can show you on the screen, where when I set up the whole thing as right to left text, the punctuation marks are not placed correctly. It's just all over the place, and the end bracket at the end was not correctly done. I manually fixed this one, but the other ones are not correctly done. So that was copy pasted, the same text copy pasted into Microsoft Word, ended up having issues with some punctuations, and inside of the text itself it had like funny punctuations or brackets and different punctuation marks and stuff. In LibreOffice, on the other hand, we didn't have that issue, but we faced another issue, unfortunately, which was kind of funny. The punctuations were okay, the brackets and the parentheses were okay, as you can see in this here. So the parentheses are exactly as they should be, over here as they should be. The end of sentences in the right to left paragraphs, they are correct. The brackets are correct. Everything is correct. The only thing I noticed was the punctuation of a right to left sentence in a let me say it again. The punctuation of a left to right sentence within a right to left paragraph, that did not end up being correct. So that was the bug that I discovered in LibreOffice. So we scroll down a little bit in both of these programs, come down to a sentence where we have a snippet, where we have a sentence, English sentence within the Persian sentence. So what we have here is an English sentence. It's a left to right sentence within the paragraph that is itself a right to left paragraph. So this little guy is a left to right sentence within a right to left paragraph. We have the same kind of thing here. However, the problem I discovered in LibreOffice was that LibreOffice incorrectly puts the punctuation marks in the wrong location. It has to be at the end of the sentence, as you can see here, and at the end of the left to right sentence, because it belongs to the left to right sentence. It's a sentence in English, and this particular sentence is a left to right sentence within the right to left paragraph. Here you see it not being correctly done, and there is no easy way to fix it. There is a trick I discovered last time. I didn't know really what to do. I couldn't really use any paragraph style or any character style to fix this issue and to say, hey, I'm going to select this part and do me a favor for this part, set it up this way or that way. I couldn't do that here. I couldn't do it here either. It's just hard coded in the program. So what I ended up doing instead was like a trick. This shouldn't be how you do it in practice. You should be able to correctly do it when you're typing your things, but right now there is no solution for that. There's no fix for this. So instead I figured that you do a little bit of a trick. So when you're typing, for example, you say in Farsi, you say something like a question, chera, why, and then you switch your keyboard to English and you say why, and you put a question mark. The question mark jumps to the end of the paragraph, the end of that sentence, the paragraph, the Persian paragraph, where, but it has to actually really stay at the end of the English sentence instead. See, it doesn't do that. It just jumps, and that is not good. This behavior is incorrect. When you do the same thing here, see what happens in Microsoft Word. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna switch my keyboard to Persian, and then I'm gonna type chera, why, space. Then I switch back to English keyboard and I say why, and put a question mark. Question mark stays where it's supposed to stay. That is the correct behavior. Then I switch back to Persian keyboard and I say in درست است. Right? Everything worked correctly. Here, this is a bug this is not how it is supposed to be working. So I figured how to kind of cheat a little bit here to fix the issue. So you start the English sentence instead. Let me switch to English keyboard. You start the English sentence. You start the English sentence with the punctuation. You never do that in English, right? But if you do it in this circumstance, it would work. You say question mark, why? And then you switch back to the Persian keyboard and you say in درست نیست. So this looks correct, but that is not how you are supposed to do it, because if they in the future, if they fix this problem, this bug in LibreOffice Writer, then what happens is that all of these tricky things that you have done would revert to the wrong thing. I mean, they would jump again, and then you're gonna have problem. But if they fix the bug, these ones that are appearing this way, they would be correct. They would be shown correctly. That's what I'm hoping for. So anyway, so that was a little thing I discovered. The only difference between these two right now, these two programs, is that with LibreOffice Writer, I was able to actually file a bug report. If you look at this, this is the bug report. This is me, Eric Bright. I filed a bug report a few minutes ago. The time actually is that, I don't know, I think this is the other side of the globe, which is already April the 13th. But for me, it's not April the 13th. This is, for me, it's the 12th of April right now. Anyway, so but I reported the bug. The bug that I filed is called punctuation issues with nested left to right sentences in a right to left paragraph. And I explained what happened and gave a description. I explained how to produce it, and what is the result, and what is the expected result. And I also had some explanations, and I gave an example, the same example I'm using there. I took it from the example I'm showing you. Well, they might see this thing. They will see this if they go to. I can even show you when you browse to the bugs, all of the bugs that are reported today. For example, you go to LibreOffice, you scroll down to Writer bugs. These are all list of bugs. You will see a whole bunch of bugs there, certainly, and you will see that the different bugs that different people explained there and reported. Let me see if I can change this, and if I can kind of arrange them based on the time they were changed, and then you will see my report the other way around. So you will see my report here. See, this is my report here, bug report. So this is the benefit of working with an open source software. I can't tell if anybody would fix this. I can't tell if anybody would pay attention to that the way that I want it to be taken seriously. People might look at it and say, well, yes, there is a problem with that, but we cannot fix it. That is possible. But at least you see what you have done. This is what you can do, what you can contribute, and at least there is a hope, because this is considered to be a bug. Bugs are different from enhancements, or bugs are different from feature requests. And when you report a feature request or ask for a feature, yeah, people might say this is good to have, but sorry, we don't have any resources to assign to this. But when you report a bug and they verify the bug and they say, oh yeah, we verified this is how it works, this is how you can reproduce the bug, then it stays there as a bug. It can be fixed the day after, or it can be fixed 5 years later, or never. but at least you see it there. You can advocate for your bug. You can ask others to look at it. It is there. It doesn't disappear all of a sudden. You can follow up with that bug. That is a huge difference between the way that a closed source commercial software such as Microsoft Word works versus the way that LibreOffice as an open source software works. So this was a little bit of a tangent I went on, but nevertheless it's very interesting to know that there are things you can do with an open source system that you cannot possibly do with a closed source commercial software. And also, definitely, if you are a programmer, you have the chance to directly take things into your hand and address the bug. If you know how to navigate through those codes and fix things, definitely it would be a very good idea to go there and yourself figure out what is wrong with the code, fix the code, and everybody would benefit right away. So there is a chance that a couple of months from now, a couple of weeks from now, somebody might pick this up. It might turn out to be a very simple thing, and boom, we would have this problem solved. If this problem is resolved, this software, LibreOffice, would be the only word processor that is doing this mixture properly. I tried Notepad++. When you turn everything to right to left, thing doesn't work out properly. Everything is upside down, not correctly. I mean, it does certain things correctly, but a whole bunch of other things incorrectly. I tried another software called TextMaker by SoftMaker, and that software didn't even have a right to left button to assign. You could make things align to the right, but I couldn't find it anyway. I couldn't find the option to assign right to left to a paragraph or to paragraph style. That was really weird. So that was completely out of question. That cannot work at all for these type of texts. But LibreOffice works well. And if this problem is resolved, then we are one step closer to a really awesome word processor. Let us do a little bit of more extra work on the text and see the steps that we are taking in order to achieve certain goals. Here I am on the left side, still trying to manipulate the text, the Persian text I pasted there. I would like to assign different styles to the text. That's what I always do. I very rarely select a text and directly change it. Unfortunately, Microsoft Word considers all of the things as direct manipulation. It does not care what you call it. It does not care that you're using the styles on over here. It doesn't care about that. It takes all of these changes as direct formatting. That is weird, and that is against everything I learned in school and everything I learned about word processing and typesetting. In typesetting, when you're using a style, like what you're doing in web design, when you are using a tag on two sides of a paragraph, on both sides of the paragraph, beginning and end of a paragraph, for example, and you say this is a paragraph, or this is heading 1, for example, that is supposed to stay there, right? When you're manipulating things, that heading tag should not all of a sudden disappear. Microsoft doesn't care about any of them. When you clean your text and remove direct formatting, it just removes everything, no matter if it is a style that you applied or you directly selected and did that. That is crazy. That's a very dangerous behavior. It can damage your entire work by accident. But when you're using styles, that the whole idea is this: when you're using a style, from a list of styles in your software, such as LibreOffice. The idea is that the styles are not considered direct manipulations. They are considered to be parts of the document. You can't remove them by selecting the text and clearing it from formattings. Those are tags that are assigned to paragraphs or words or sentences or characters. They are going to stay with them until you directly manipulate those styles directly. Until then. Otherwise, they would not go away. You can't remove them. That is a very important distinction. That's a very important thing that you need to be aware of. I didn't know it in Microsoft. That was crazy. In Microsoft Word, I said, holy moly. By accident, you can clear your entire applied styles to your document. It's just Microsoft allows for such a thing, and that is wrong. If you tell them that they say this is a feature, this is not a bug, definitely they know about it. But in my opinion, that is a I don't know what to call it. That's crazy, I would say. I do not recommend that at all. This reason alone should tell you why you shouldn't use Microsoft Word for long documents. It is not suitable for long documents. It is not designed to handle long documents. This is example of why. Okay. All right. So the bug that we discovered in both of these programs, they both have bugs. They choked on Persian, English, Persian, Latin text combined, and in different ways. The only thing is that with LibreOffice, I had the chance to file a report, see what happens. I would come back to you. I would let you know once something happened. Maybe they change it, maybe they fix it. All right, so now let me change a couple of things here and see where we can go. I'm going to create a new style, paragraph style. Here is the problem I have with Microsoft Word. Is another problem. I mentioned it in the previous video, but this is just really bugging me. The list you see here, the list of all the styles, it's the list of paragraph styles and character styles, both combined in one list. That is not good. That is confusing. I don't want that. It's not helping me at all. What helps me is, let's go to LibreOffice Writer on the right side. What helps me is to have these lists separated. LibreOffice uses tabs like this, so you can see in the styles you have character. You have paragraph style here, then you have character styles, then you have frame styles, then you have page styles, then you have bullet point styles, then you have table styles, and this one I don't remember what that is. What is it? Field format mode. I don't know what that is. I never used that, but they are separated from each other, and when I click on them, I just see the style that is relevant to that particular kind. If you ask what is the difference between a character style and a paragraph style, a paragraph style applies to the whole paragraph. Doesn't matter if you select the paragraph or your cursor is on that paragraph. If you apply that style, the whole paragraph changes to that particular style. Let me show you what I mean. Look at my cursor. My cursor is here in the middle of this paragraph, and these are all paragraph styles that I have already applied in this document. If I double click on heading, everything in that paragraph changes to this particular style. I would click on Control Z to undo it, but you saw what happened. Why did this happen? Because it is a character style. It's a paragraph style. When when you apply a paragraph style to anywhere, anything in a paragraph, the whole paragraph would change, because that is the only thing that a paragraph style can do, changes the paragraph. But in comparison, character style only applies to a selected character. For example, if I select these characters here and apply this one, this emphasis or italic would be applied to those words that are selected, those characters that are selected. That is what the character style would do. I click on Ctrl Z to undo this. So that's the difference. Here, when you come back to Microsoft Word, you see all of them in one list. There is no differentiation. Let me see if I can no, I cannot. There's nothing here that can help me differentiate between these two, or have two separate lists of a style, one for paragraph, one for character. This is not good at all. This is very quickly you will have many styles applied to both characters and to your paragraphs, and when the lists are combined, your applied style list would be very long, very hard to navigate, very confusing. And I'm already confused here. Several times I was confused. So okay, with that said, let me try to figure out create a new paragraph style. I would like to have paragraph, a specific type of paragraph here. I'm going to create a new paragraph, and I am going to call it what should I call it? Heading centered. What am I typing? Centered. And it's a paragraph style, so well, at least here it allows me to pick the paragraph instead of character. Good. Well, at least based on the normal style, the style for following paragraph would be center. No, would be normal. And what type of thing do I need? I would like, first of all, I want it to be in the middle, centered. Then I want it to be, because it is using the complex text right now, it's in Persian language. I would like it to use the complex text, and for that I would like this to be used. Size, I would like it to be slightly larger and bold perhaps, and that's it. And I click on OK. What happened? This happened? No. Why, when I move my cursor to a new paragraph, why doesn't this change to the applied paragraph style? Huh. And where did my thing go? Heading centered. In use, in current document, heading centered. See, that is ridiculous. Here's another bug. This is a paragraph. It's a paragraph in and of itself. Let me show you in home, and these are the symbols that show you which one is a paragraph. So this is a paragraph in and of itself. And when I click on a paragraph style, let me clear it. When I click on paragraph style, it should change it. Let me go back, by the way. So when I click on paragraph style, this is supposed to be a paragraph style. The whole paragraph should change, but only one word is changing. This is a bug This should not happen. Plus it just moves to something else. I don't even know why. Go back, select the whole paragraph, click on this. Now the whole paragraph changes. Of course it has to change. But the fact of the matter is that no matter where my cursor is, when I click on a paragraph style, the whole paragraph should change, not just a word in it. This is annoying. Oh dear, this is an annoying thing. So imagine you're dealing with this annoying thing all the time. Here's another issue. I do not see the proper presentation of my paragraph style over here. I don't see it. There is no representation or preview there. Okay, 12. Why is it not showing correctly? Don't know. Let me go to the fonts. Look how many clicks I have to make to just go to the place I need to go to. Oh, not good. 20. Bold. Yeah, bold. Okay. I'm not pleased with how this paragraph style behaved at all. Here, let us come to LibreOffice Writer. Look what happens here. Here I would like to create a new style, and the same way I would like to have it a specific way. So I'm going to create a new style. Yeah, well, create a new style from selection. I didn't select anything, but I call it heading centered. And now I would like to modify it. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want the text, it is already recognized as Lotus. I would like it to be 20. I would like it to be bold, and I would like it to be centered. I apply. I don't close it, I just apply. Boom. You see how many clicks and clicks and clicks I saved just by applying, and the menu is still open. I don't have to leave it. By the way, I can actually move the window that is behind. You cannot do it with Microsoft Word. That is a bad thing. That is not a nice design. This, what LibreOffice Writer is doing, is correct. This is how it should be done. Not this way. Here, I don't know what it is called in programming. They say these pop-up menus are I don't know what they call it, but there are two different ways to do it. One of them would not allow the background, the windows behind, to interact with you. The other style allows you, still allows you to interact with it. So I cannot say I like this Microsoft Word style of working. Unfortunately, that's not my favorite. It adds up. Little by little, these annoyances would add up. If I change to a default or body text, or a default text like this, or body text like this. Let me see. This is default. Yes, this is a default text like this. And if I modify the default text and I say the default text was English, because we started with English, so it is left, and it is, the directionality of it is automatic. If I say the text direction is the directionality is it really depends on where it appears. It says use superordinate object settings. I don't know what that means, but maybe we can get some ideas as to what that might mean in the help section. So when we set it to text direction, and no, the explanation is not, at least there is something here that you can refer to, but it doesn't really say what that means. Anyway, I don't want to change the entire paragraph style, the default paragraph style to Persian, to right to left, but nevertheless I can actually create a new one. Hold on a second, why not? This one, whatever it is, I can create a new one, and I can create a new one based on the selection. I can call it Persian, right? Persian paragraphs. So okay, so this is my thing, and this is definitely separate from the English one. It is right aligned and it is right to left. Excellent. And I can assign this to it, to this paragraph, right? So this would be like regular text for Persian, and I can perhaps rename this one, which was the English. Can I rename it? I don't think so, because this is just the thing that came with it. So name cannot be changed because it's out of the box kind of thing. So these two are default, but I don't have to stick with the default. I can just have a new paragraph, and all of these things can be assigned as Persian paragraphs. So let me just go ahead and do it. Why not? I just say these are Persian. You don't see any change, but the difference is that they are not default anymore. Default, if you remember that the default is this one. The default is the body text, whatever this is. I can actually really make something else. I can select this whole thing and say default. And the default is slightly different. As you can see, the default paragraph removes, well, I selected too many things. but it removed all of the things that I selected in the past. I selected too many things. So I actually demolished my previous assignments of things, but that's okay. That's not too difficult to fix. And I can have this default thing for the space after the paragraph. I can have a little bit of a space after the paragraph, and boom, I have everything back. So in this particular case, if I limit my view of the styles to only the applied styles, now I can see the default paragraph, which is the English one. Then I can see the headings. I used 3 of them, and I see the Persian paragraph, which is the one that comes below. This is much cleaner and easier to see what's going on instead of having a text body and this and that. Anyway, so this is much easier. This is clean and nice, and I can see what's happening. These extra paragraphs in between, I can remove them. You can make them visible. You can remove them, and you have the same type of thing here in Microsoft Word. When you look at it, they also have extra space between the paragraphs. That is not how you leave space between paragraphs. You shouldn't do it that way. You should always control the space between paragraphs by using the spacing modifications, right? So you have to configure your paragraph and say, I want this much space below my paragraph or above my paragraph, or both. That is the way to control the space between the paragraphs. Here as well, I don't want the extra spaces, so I remove them. And if you think this space is too little, they are too cramped, you can come here quickly and add a little bit of extra space, and then now they have more space. You need more, come back here, you add a bit more, apply. If it is okay, if not, add more, if not, add more. So now I added a whole bunch of space below my Persian paragraphs. 28, not too bad, eh? For the default, I don't have a lot of space. Let me modify that as well and see if I maybe add 20 as well, or 0.2. Yeah, it looks nice. Now everything looks kind of uniform. with this, oh my gosh, go ahead and do that. First of all, the problem I have here is that let me do the normal thing with the normal. Alright, so with the normal, the space between, I have to go to paragraphs, and I have to, well, this is point. I don't even know how to translate it, the point into the oh dear, and why the line spacing is multiple. I'll call it single. And how to change this one into inches, I don't know. 0.2 inch. Let's see what happens. And if I say 0.2, by the way, I closed the thing. Oh wow, so 0.2 would be 14.4 points. All right, if that is that is what it is. And so that would be the normal one. Then for the Persian one, I don't have anything here. I would like to, oh, I do. I have a paragraph for the Persian, and I have a different style for the English. So for the Persian I have, which one is it? What? When I click on the English, you see the indicator of the style changes to normal, which is what it should be. When I click on the Persian part, it changes to style complex area, but it shows me the character style. How come? It should be showing me a paragraph style. Oh dear, I don't know what it is doing. I really don't know what it's doing. Oh yeah. All right, modify. Let us assume that this is the one. Go to fonts, then no, not to the fonts. Go to paragraph. See how many times I have to click just to get to the place I want to get to. All right, so 14.4. It inherited from paragraph style, from normal paragraph style. Thank you. Very uncomfortable. There is a bug here that does not really show you the paragraph that you have applied. See, I don't know what paragraph I applied until I selected the whole paragraph. That is insane. Definitely they would call it a I can understand why this is happening. They would call it a feature, not a bug. But in my opinion, this is a serious bug. Doesn't matter what they call it, I call it a bug because it is not the way that I expect it to work, and it's just absolutely confusing, and it's not supposed to work that way. When you click on a paragraph, it should show you the paragraph, the style that is applied to that paragraph, like this. So for example, when I'm clicking on this paragraph, it shows me the paragraph style that is default. When I click here, it shows me the paragraph style that is Persian. If I want to see the character style, I click on the character tab, the tab that is related to character styles, and then I would see what I need to see. If it is emphasis, if it is something else, I will see that, okay, this is the one that is being used. Right now, all of them are default character styles, right? So this is much more logical, much more understandable. You are not seeing crazy things happening, trying to figure out what the thinking behind this was that is producing this effect. Unfortunately, you don't see that type of polish in Microsoft Word. I don't know when Microsoft is going to catch up with LibreOffice, as I said in the past, but if this is the case, there's a very long way to go for such thing, for them to even catch up, to even come close to LibreOffice. All right, for now, I think it's been a very long video so far. I will leave it at this, and in the next video we will talk a little bit more about how to go into a little bit more details with this. Until then, subscribe, and if you like the video, click the like button, and also click the bell so you would be notified the next time I publish the video. All right, till then, see you next time.